Hi guys, my name is Laura. Welcome to Hedgehog's Homestead. Today I am going to can some chicken, and I grew these chickens in our backyard, but I'm running out of freezer space and I have 2 turkeys that are about to go to freezer camp soon. So I wanted to can some of my chicken. Plus, I do have to say I like canned chicken breasts, but I'm also going to be doing some thighs and legs, which I have never done before, so we can enjoy doing some new things together. Now, these came out of the freezer. We grew these last year, and this one's a Cornish cross, and I have the other one is a Freedom Ranger, so you guys can see the difference, and I'll point out any differences that I see as I go along the way. First, you're going to cut that thigh open, just the skin there, and then you're going to do it on the other side too, just cutting the skin. You're going to turn that bird over and just kind of pull those legs out of the socket. And then I'm going to cut the skin open. Because what I want to see now is I want to see the thigh muscle. Okay. And you see this line of fat right here that's connecting your skin tissue. That's where you want to cut, guys. You're just going to cut right along that natural fat line. And that's how you get the best cut off of your chicken. And you don't have to cut into the bone, because when you cut into the bone, it dulls your knife. And because if I was gonna fry these up, I wouldn't take off the skin, but because I'm gonna can this chicken, I am gonna take off the skin, because canned skin on chicken is not my thing. It's gross, in other words. And a lot of people feel the same way. I'm not in that not in this alone. So okay, and that's not that easy to get off, but usually the fat that's holding it on there. My dogs love it when I can chicken. They're hoping for something, but they're not going to get anything because this is raw. Okay, and now what I've exposed, you can see that there's a natural line where the fat is, and so right to the inside of that natural line, you're going to get that drumstick off. Actually, you want to go on the inside of the thigh. So let me get this other knife. I think it works better. And that exposes the in between the joint. And then it comes off just like so. And you got 2 pieces there, guys. This was a nice fatty chicken. And this is the Cornish cross. I really like the Cornish cross. It is my favorite chicken to raise, because they will grow out in, let me get a bowl. Now, We'll do our wing. The wing I am not going to can because they're kind of not worth it. I'm just going to go around. And because I'm not going to can it, this knife is so sharp it cut off the ball joint there. That's okay. We're just going to put this aside on a plate. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side. And I'm just going to cut off the skin. And again, we're doing the thigh on this. Okay. Now the skin and the carcass we are going to save for some chicken broth. Okay. And now I can see, I'm going to go on the inside here. You can see this fatty line here. And this goes with a lot of different meat, guys. Is that I've already popped that joint, so you don't have to do that. I'm just making sure it's popped. And we cut it off like so. Okay. And then you go on the inside and you can see right where that line is. If you follow that line, going to take you right to that joint. There we go. Okay, so there's our other thigh and our other drumstick. And we're just going to cut into the armpit. Like so. There we go. There's our other wing. Now to get our chicken breast off, there's a nice fatty line right here. Okay. And you're just going to start dissecting along the ribs there. You can do it from the back as well if you want. And just cut straight down the middle. This is how other people do it. And then there is a little piece of cartilage in there. Okay. You want to make sure you got a really sharp knife, guys, to do this. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to take off that skin. But look at that nice piece of meat. That is from a Cornish cross. You get those, and this is a small one, but that's a nice piece of meat from our Cornish cross. I'm going to cut those into pieces because I like to make chicken breast. my chicken breasts into smaller cubed pieces, so I have those ready for recipes that I like to do. Like they're great to make a chicken salad, because during the canning process, of course, the meat's going to cook. Okay. And there we go. There's our other breast there. Now all of this meat right here, that you can throw in another pot and cook it for a couple days with some vegetables, and you got some chicken broth, some very yummy bone chicken broth. So let's go ahead and do this other chicken now. Now this is our Freedom Ranger, and it's not labeled Freedom Ranger, but I'll tell you how I know. Because of how it's shaped, and also because the Freedom Rangers, if you can see here, see these little dark pieces in here? Those are from, and they'll come out if I kind of pull on them, but those are from the Freedom Rangers feathers. So that's the one thing I don't like about the Freedom Rangers, is that they not only take longer to grow out, they're harder to butcher. And so again, we're going to cut into our thigh, into the skin. I'm going to go all the way down. Okay. And then do the same on the other side. A lot of people like Freedom Rangers because they're a heritage breed, but I rather do a Cornish cross and have something for me that grows out faster, because the Freedom Rangers are going to take longer. But I can't reproduce a Cornish cross. But when it comes to taste and what you're used to, especially when you're first starting out, guys, if you want a bird that is going to taste like something that came out of your supermarket, you're going to want to do a Cornish cross. Okay. So I'm going to open up that skin so I can see my lines there. Okay. That piece came off really nice. Because I go and pop the bones this way, I can see into the joint more and give it a cleaner cut. You see what I mean? See how nice that came off? And another thing I don't like about, they have a smaller breast and they have thicker skin. And their feathers are harder to get out in processing. So you can see the difference in breasts here. Now, if you're not a breast man or woman, you don't care about that. Their thighs are plenty big. Okay. Okay, and then I got this one open here. I'm going to go along the back side again. Cut along Sorry guys, I don't do this every day like like a lot of people. Okay, there's your thigh and your drumstick. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut across the top. I think the reason why you can see the Cornish cross are an all white bird, and the Freedom Rangers they're Red Rangers, or different hatcheries call them different things, so it depends on where you got them. The place I got them at, I probably wouldn't have been brave enough to do I did like 2 rounds of meat birds last year, and I probably wouldn't have been brave enough if my local store didn't carry these birds. And I did them in my backyard. My neighbors must have thought I was nuts, but with all the chaos last year, we learned a lot quick. So, okay, now I'm just going to go along. You can feel want to kind of go along the ribs, and this is where having a really sharp knife will really help you. It does the work for you. Okay. Now this was probably a bigger bird because this breast isn't too bad. This is a very small Cornish cross. I just picked 2 out of the freezer and said, okay, I'm canning these. Just go along the bone and cut that breast off. Okay. Okay. Now, if you look at this, you can see in the skin here, the feathers are a lot harder to get out of the Freedom Rangers, and you can see little pin feathers still in there. And we have a plucker, so it's kind of surprising that. Okay, now we're going to do our wings. Actually, I don't even know if I want to save these wings because of maybe I can get those pin feathers out. I think I'll just save them for my broth because I'm not a real wing fan anyways. So we'll just save those for broth. Maybe we'll cook some broth tomorrow. I have plenty of broth on the shelf, however. I'm telling you, growing your own food or butchering your own food, there's something about raising them yourself. You don't want to waste the meat, because you raised that thing from a hatchling. You just don't want to do it. Don't want to waste it, even though I have plenty of broth on the shelf. There we go. Okay, then we're going to turn that back over to this side. I was just feeling for the joint, so I can go in between that joint. That made a big difference, guys, so feel for the joint and cut there. And follow your meat, your fat. Okay, there you go. 2 birds ready to go. Okay guys, this video got a little long, so I'm gonna cut it off here, and we'll see you for that canning video tomorrow. Thank you for coming along with me today as we learned how to cut up a whole chicken. And the great thing about that is now we can get a whole chicken at the supermarket if that's all they have, or if you've grown out your own chicken, now you know how to handle that chicken and cut it up in pieces. You can freeze it that way now, and it's a great way to add more meat to your freezer. So thank you for coming along with me today, and as always, God bless.